would be about cybersecurity, ano ba yung mga threats na meron, and ano yung mga solutions that we can use to prevent kung ano yung mga threats na yun. So, this slide, first we will tackle yung mga some cyber threats attacks that happens sa atin. So, we have here yung cross-site scripting attack. So, yung cross-site scripting attack, basically, ano siya, yung website is, for example, is a legit website siya. So, ang nangyayari is, pag may nakitang vulnerability yung threat actor or yung bad guy, so, pwede sila mag-insert ng script doon, JavaScript. So, we have here yung kung paano siya nag-work. So, first, the attacker sends a message with a link containing malicious script to the victim. So, this is via known na threat natin is yung phishing. So, phishing, siya yung talagang nagiging unang entry point ng mga threat actors para makapasok sa network natin or sa system natin or makapag-disrupt sila ng mga activities natin. So, number one is yung phishing. So, this one is using phishing para ma-initiate yung attack na to. So, first, send siya ng message. So, dadaan siya sa firewall, sa core switch natin, access. Then, makapunta siya dun sa victim or dun sa end user natin. So, pag na-receive na ng victim, yung message or link, email, so kapag na-click niya yun, so makikita niya legitimate site. So, for example, facebook.com, hindi updated yung website. So, napasok na. So, pag-click natin, doon ang mag-run yung script na ginawa ng threat actor. So, pwede niyang makita yung nangyayari doon sa kung ano yung mga informations na binabato ng user or ng victim doon sa web application. So, nakikita niya yung nangyayari. So, with this one, we can prevent this, of course, if sa mga new gen firewalls. So, you can prevent that this or sa mga ZTNA, yun yung pwede natin gamitin. So, next please. So, we have yung DDoS attack. So, this is very well-known attack also. So, denial of service. So, ang ginagawa niya is pina-flood niya yung traffic. For example, yung firewall. So, ipa-flood niya yun ng attack. So, for example, a SYN flood, yan. Yung known attacks of volume. Ang gagawin niya, iba-block niya. Kung parang, for example, is kalsada yan, na, for example, 4 lanes. So, may dadaan na sasakyan. So, ang gagawin niya, pumapadaan siya ng madami sasakyan para ma-block yung traffic. So, for example, may ambulance. So, hindi siya important na traffic, hindi makakadaan. So, ang nangyayari dyan, kapag na-block niya na yung firewall natin, wala na. Kumbaga, wala na rin access sa internet. So, usually, nangyayari ito sa mga banks. So, may mga government banks. So, yun yung usually tina-target nila to disrupt yung system. So, walang makaka-access. So, yeah. So, walang makakapag-transact. So, DDoS attack is a cyber attack where many compromised devices are used to overwhelm target servers or networks. So, makikita nyo dito, meron siyang infected devices. So, yung infected devices na yan is magsisend ng, or mag-ping, for example na lang sa firewalls natin. So, para ma-flood yung firewall or ma-overwhelm. So, attacker takes control of lots of computers or smart devices like cameras, routers, computers without their owners knowing. So, the second one na mangyayari kapag after nun is the attacker sends instruction to all infected devices in the botnet. The instructions is usually sends a lot of traffic to this website or servers. Then, the next one is the botnet starts sending huge amount of traffic. All the control device starts sending requests all the same time to the target website or service. Even normal looking requests can become overwhelming when they send thousands of millions of devices. So, ang nangyayari nun, yung napansin yung mga internet users, wala na. Hindi niya na ma-access yung website. So, nangyayari to, for example, a good example nito, hindi naman siya DDoS attack, pero for example, magre-register ka sa isang event. Bigating event. So, ang daming nag-access. So, nangyayari nagla-down yung server. So, the target gets overloaded with the website or the server receives far more traffic than it handles. So normally naman yung mga firewalls naman natin, meron naman siyang DDoS. Pero kapag sobrang laki na, hindi niya pa rin talaga kinakaya. So we have dedicated appliances to protect this. So meron tayong tools, cybersecurity tools for this one. So real users can access the site since the server is too busy dealing with the fake traffic. It can serve real visitors. So ganun yung nangyayari sa atin kapag merong DDoS. So next please. Then ransomware attack. So ransomware attack happens also by phishing. So first, the attacker to get into the victim's computer or network, the attacker sends malware to the victim via email. So some of the firewalls, ngayon, umpisa pa lang yung email, na-check nyo na agad kung mayroong threat ba doon. So kung may malicious na link na nabigay doon, so na-block nyo na agad. So if in case na hindi siya na-block, for example, so nag-send siya, then na-receive ng victim, gano'n, and nabuksan nyo rin ulit. Or unknowingly, napindot niya lang, na-click niya. So once open, yung ransomware, mag-install na siya sa system natin. And then of course, once the malware reach your computer and had up spread to your systems, it starts to encrypt all your data, including all important files like documents, photos, and database. So ito yung di mo na mabuksan yung mga files mo. So pag di mo na mabuksan, mayroon na doon na manghihingi na siya ng PIN. So para ma-decrypt mo siya. So ang ginagawa niya, kung na-encrypt niya yung mga files mo, sisingilin ka na. Ito usually na-experience sa mga government. Madalas, mapapansin nyo, madaming governments na tamaan itong ransomware attacks. So to prevent this, we have, of course, firewalls, PDRs, NDRs. So yun yung mga tools na pwede natin gamitin to prevent this kind of attacks. So data exfiltration attacks. So first, it's an authorized transfer of sensitive information from a system or network to an external location controlled by an attacker. So it happens after an attacker gains access through methods such as phishing, so malware, stolen credentials, or exploited vulnerabilities. So the next one is yung malware and stolen credentials. So for malware, usually ang ginagamit natin to prevent this is yung mga EDR natin. Then pag stolen credentials naman, PAM. So we have privileged access management. So yun yung nagmamanage ng credentials natin. So para ma-prevent natin yung stolen credentials. Then to continue, then quality copies and sends data out of the network. Traffic cloud services, email or removal media to avoid detection. So first, ang nangyayari is, the attacker infiltrates the system by sending malicious links, attachments to the victim. So nakikita nyo yung trend talagang, phishing yung nangyayari. So for the phishing part, actually, to prevent this, pati yung user kailangan magkaroon tayo ng training na kapag na-check nila o nakita nila na sa email nila, nakita nila yung link, medyo mahaba, tapos very suspicious. So, kailangan natin erase natin na may malicious to. So, bakit yung i-click o pwede natin sabihin sa mga IT natin na may gantong na send sa akin, may na-receive ako na ganito. So, after the attacker sends the link or the email, then the victim clicks on the link or file that gets infected by malware, the attacker can now access the device. So, kapag infected na yung device natin, pwede niya nang konektahin yung mga data na meron dun sa device na yun without knowing ng user. So the attacker conducts lateral movement wherein they would find possible paths to infiltrate the system and find critical systems. So for example, na-reach niya yung mga servers natin. So the attacker used different techniques like brute force to gain access to critical systems. Once the attacker gained access, it will then collect data to these systems and sends the collected data to the attacker's external server. So later on, we'll discuss kung ano yung mga solutions na pwede natin gamitin to prevent this. Next slide, please. So we have here also the Managed Security Operations Center. So we have different kinds of attacks here. So number one is the DDoS. We have the DDoS attack. And malwares. So madaming threats na nangyayari, and for some companies hindi nila kaya mag-provide ng i-monitor lahat ng ito or i-prevent itong lahat ng tos. And how will they act? So for that, we have managed service or MSOC na kami yung mag-manage ng security niyo, ng cyber security niyo. So we offer also we're using Stellar Cyber for this MSOC. Next slide, please. So sa cybersecurity solutions, here are the solutions that we have. So una, we have the UEM. So this brand is Scale Fusion. So what this do is siya yung nagmamanage lahat ng assets natin. So for example, laptops. So alam natin kung sino yung user, kung updated ba siya, or yung mga security na naka-install sa kanya, yung EDR niya is updated. We have endpoint detection and response, so EDR. Also, OpenXDR. This one is the Stellar Cyber. Then network and security convergence, we have anti-DDoS. We also have the next generation firewalls. Deep observability, this is Gigamon. So yung traffic sa network natin, wala tayong visibility. So with this one, with Gigamon, nakikita natin yung mga, we can, for example, we have multiple tools, security tools. So yung mga traffic na pumupunta doon sa security tools natin is pwede nating mas ma-fine tune na itong traffic lang yung may receive na, for example, na NDR. So kaya niyang i-filter out yun. So pwede niyang i-remove yung mga duplicated packets. So yun yung ginagawa ng deep observability natin na Gigamon. Then we have yung SASE. So SASE is Kato. We also have Swig ZTNA CASB, DEM, or yung SSE. So we have here Kato and Aruba Axis SSE. Then next we have the NDR. So for NDR we have NetScout and also Stellar. Then WAF. So for WAF we have Fortinet. Then privileged access management. This is Segura. So sa privileged access management, like I said, siya yung nagmamanage ng credentials natin. So, siya yung, for example, siya na nagpapalit ng password automatically para sa inyo. And lahat ng access na mangyayari sa mga system na to is through partner. So, we segregate or we group yung mga solutions na kung saan siya usually ginagamit. So, for network protection, cloud and data center SOC tools, then access management. Next, please. So, ito yun. We segregated it to 4 pillars. So, for network protection, we have NDR, SASE firewalls, cloud and data center, DDoS, WAF, SOC tools, EDR, OpenXDR. Then, sa access management, we have UEM, and then the PAM solution. So for network protection, so ano ba yung value nun? So for the values, we prevent unauthorized access, stops malware, ransomware, and external attacks, prevents lateral movement, and enhance visibility and threat detection. So kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng threat attacks since ang pinakauna nun is wala tayong visibility kung ano ba yung nangyayari. So kung may mga tools tayo na to, we can have yung mga visibility na yun. Then we can act accordingly. So for that, we should have the clear network architecture and asset inventory. So para ma-deploy natin na maayos. Then define security policies and segmentation strategy. So dapat yung firewall policies natin, micro-segmentation plans is naka-laid out siya. Then properly configure yung mga security tools natin. Ito yung isa sa mga issue na kung bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng mga attacks. So, meron nga tayong tools, pero alam ba natin gamitin yung mga tools na yun? So dapat properly configured siya, yung mga firewalls natin, NAP, SWIG, DNS filtering. Next. So for the technologies, we have the NDR, Next Generation Firewall Secure Access Service Edge, or the SASE, Deep Observability, then Network Access Control. So yung NAC natin. So for network protection, the NDR, so the value of the network detection and response is syempre network visibility, kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa traffic sa east-west natin, detects advanced and unknown network threats, behavior-based network threat detection. So, ano yung mga threat vectors or masasabi natin na bakit kailangan natin ng NDR? So, poor east-west traffic visibility. So, yun yung di natin alam kung ano yung nangyayari. Continuous and real-time monitoring. So, wala tayong, kumbaga yun na, di natin na-monitor, di natin alam kung ano yung nangyayari. Then your environment suffers from advanced or unknown threats. So, kapag may nangyayari sa network natin na hindi natin alam, so, we need yung NDR solutions. So, we have NetScout. Next. Then, we have yung next generation firewalls natin. So, if makita nyo, meron tayong perimeter firewall, meron tayong internal firewall. So, this is a sample diagram of deployment lang ng mga natin. Firewalls. So, values filtering inbound and outbound traffic. So, ito naman yung north and south. So, yung sa internet. Network segmentation, first line of defense against cyber threats. So, ito yung, since ito yung naka-face sa internet natin, siya yung first line of defense natin. So, para naman maprotektahan yung first line of defense natin, usually we have yung DDoS naman. So, threat vectors, your network connects to the internet in any way. So, kailangan talaga natin ng firewall. I think wala naman siguro dito na nakakonect sa internet, wala tayong firewall, no? Sa company natin. So, you need to control or monitor data flows. You have experience or fear of attacks. So, sa firewall pa lang kasi sa mga cyber threat attacks, madami na tayong mapiprevent dito. So, yung IPS, IDS, natin meron tayong capable nun. So, next. So, network protection natin, we have Secure Access Service Edge, so yung SASE. So, optimize end-to-end network connectivity, provides secured access to the local and cloud applications, provides more control of your traffic, secure remote access, secure site-to-site connectivity, unified management for network and network security. So, SASE usually dinideploy natin to kapag mayroon tayong mga remote workers or employees. Yan. Then the threat vectors, we have kapag yung network natin is high complexity to deploy since with SASE kasi or Kato, kailangan mo lang ng agent or pwedeng clientless and connected ka na sa cloud niya. And the good thing with Kato kasi is meron lang siyang local may PAC siya dito. So, usually kasi sa pag-VPN, anong nangyayari is pupunta pa siya sa head office, tsaka siya lalabas ng internet. So, with Kato, diretso na. Then, may sarili siyang PAC. So, hybrid workforce and setup, performance issue, backhauling traffic to central firewall, so yung nagamit mo nila. Connectivity issues to cloud and applications. So, SASE is, SD1 and then SSE. So, yun lang naman si SASE. So, pag tinagkan natin yung SD1 apart, then that's SSE. Next please. So, deep observability. So, yan. Eliminate security blind spots. Improves threat detection and cyber security posture. Enhance performance and troubleshooting. Since nga, ang ginagawa niya is eliminate niya yung mga packets na hindi naman kailangan, for example, sa NDR. Hindi niya naman kailangan ng ibang packets. So, i-eliminate niya yun, filter out niya. So, kung meron kayong SOAR, SIEM, kung ano lang yung packets na required na yun lang papadaanin niya. Strengthens hybrid and multi-cloud operations, provides visibility into encrypted traffic. So, may isang tinatawag si Gigamon na isang feature is yung decryption. So, ang ginagawa niya is dinidecrypt niya yung encrypted na packets na dinidecrypt niya ulit. So, para ma-check niya yung laman ng packet. So, yun yung isa sa mga features of technology na proprietary kay Gcaman. Threat vectors, you have security events your tools fail to detect. Since nga may mga packets naman na hindi dapat pumupunta doon sa security pool natin, so yun yung kailangan natin ma-identify. Then you can see east-west or encrypted traffic. Your hybrid or multi-cloud visibility is fragmented. So yun yung mga threat vectors that we check kung, for example, two of those meron tayong na-encounter, then we need yung deep observability, hindi ka man. Then